Hey, this is Anthony Cesari with SuccessForYourSongs.com, and in this video we're going to be talking about hooking your listeners into your song with the chords you choose. And in particular, we'll be looking at using suspended chords as a way to do this. If you're not familiar with suspended chords, you can think of them if you think about a major chord, but if you take out the third of that major chord and then replace the third with either the second or fourth note of the scale. So, for example, a C major chord would be C, E, and G. So a C suspended 2 would be C, D, and G instead of C, E, and G. And a C suspended fourth would be C, F, and G instead of C, E, and G. So you're just taking out that third and putting in either a second or a fourth, depending on if it's a C sus2 or C sus4. So let's look at some ways that you can use these kind of chords in your music to create and release tension. And if you like what you learned here, please like the video or leave a comment below. So by removing the third in suspended chords, it creates this tension that wants to be resolved back to its root major chord. And that's how the suspended chords are most often used. And since the sus4 chords are more frequently used than sus2 chords, resolving a sus4 chord to its root is probably the most common application of suspended chords. An example of that would be playing an A sus4 to an A major chord. Sus2 chords are often played after their root chord to lead to another chord, and we'll see an example of both of these concepts. So while I encourage you to experiment with all the suspended chords that fit into a given key, as I mentioned in the previous slide, you might also find yourself gravitating towards some of the more common and practical applications for these types of chords, so we're going to take a look at those here. Like I said, the most common way to use suspended chords is by resolving to the root. So in this example, you'll hear a C, F, G, C sus4 going back to C. So here we just have a C sus4 chord resolving to the root C chord. Now, while sus4 chords often resolve to the root, sus2 chords are often used to move away from their root. So this example is going to show you a C to a C sus2 to an F. So here that C sus2 lifts us away from the root C and towards the F. In her song How, Lisa Loeb takes a similar but modified approach to this kind of resolution. And in that song, she's not resolving from a suspended chord to its root version, but in her progression, after coming from two different suspended chords in the middle of the progression, she lands solidly on E major to ground that progression. So listen to the first four chords in the song How by Lisa Loeb. They're C sharp minor 7th, B sus4, A sus2, and E major. It sounds like this. Since chord progressions based on the 1, 4, and 5 chords in a major key are so common in popular songwriting, resolving a suspended chord to the 4 or 5 chord can also be an approach that you take with these kinds of chords. So this example is a C, F, G sus4, G progression, which is a 1, 4, 5 sus4, 5. So here we'll hear the sus4 chord resolving back to the 5 chord. Now this is an altered version of that same example, except now it uses the progression C, F, F sus2, G. So this is a 1, 4, 4 sus2, 5 progression where the sus2 chord is leading away from the 4 chord. All right, so I hope you found that chord writing information useful. If you're looking for more ways to easily and strategically write chord progressions and singable melodies too, I have a free cheat sheet that has chord charts and tips that will make writing chords and melodies a lot easier for you. So you can download that by tapping on the screen here. And if you haven't yet subscribed to our YouTube channel to stay updated on our latest songwriting videos, you can tap our logo on the screen for that. And I'll also have links for that stuff below this video. So thanks for checking this out. I'll talk to you in the next one. Take care.